Well, folks, it's something you don't see every day. Video from inside the T-Rox mobile.
Hey Geo Nerds, in today's rockumentary we're going to have a look at the geology of the Carindale cutting. Well, the northern side anyway. It's pretty complicated, but let's go into it. God, it was hot anyway. You know what I'm going to say? Let's rock! Hey Geo Nerds, in a recent video from Walkabout with Rob, link in the description, Rob did a video on the Belmont Tramway. Very embarrassing for me because I didn't know this thing existed and I thought I knew something about Brisbane. But anyway, it's a great video. I thoroughly recommend you go and watch it. I'm going to play a tiny bit of it after this because it's relevant to today's video, because he did a shot with the Carindale cutting over his shoulder and I went, ooh, that looks good. We're going to have a good look at that today. So over to you, Rob.
What if I told you that you could get a train from Norman Park to Carindale? Well, for a few years in the early 20th century, you could do just that. In this video, I'm going to be walking all the way from Norman Park train station to Carindale along the former and long forgotten Belmont Tramway. Yeah, Carindale Shopping Centre is just over there. So this hill that I'm on here, and which was part of that hill over there, explains why the Belmont Tramway went around it. You can see on the map how the line suddenly makes a curve, a detour north, before heading south back down to resume then its easterly journey towards its final destination, which was Belmont Station, or Belmont Stop.
Well, there you go, folks. We just got launched out of the Galactica. There's Belmont Creek down there. We're just dropping into the cutting. And it's an amazing cutting. They moved a lot of rock here. We'll be looking at the left-hand side today because it's way more interesting than the right-hand side. Not sure how that works. But anyway, this is going to be quite a long video as it is. We'll just do the left-hand side. There's Carindale, of course, built across the creek. I'm not sure how you get away with building a shopping centre over a creek. There's that aged care home and a new development there. And you can see here, I'm pausing here because you can see the old Cleveland Road running across the top where it's been cut through. You'll see that in the maps as well in a minute. So anyway, let's have a look at some maps. Well, here we have a cadastral map from about the 1950s. The only thing in here is you can see the old road still. Well, folks, aerial photography, 1936. Rob, you can still see the old tram line in this one. So, yeah, there's the markers there. See the big fellmongery or fur merchants in the middle there. And I think this house here might be the key to those brick gates that we can see back up on the other side. Yeah, folks, here we go. Aerial photography, 1946. I've pieced these together for you from about 4 different shots. As you can see, tram line's just about gone. Those houses, keep an eye on them because they're still there. And you can see little bits of the tram line there, but not much. Anyway, no cutting, obviously. So what I've done here, folks, I've just put the two maps 1946 and 2000 on top of each other, synced them together and just faded them backwards and forwards for you. You can see this place has moved. There's some big infrastructure changes here.
Well, folks, here we are today after a recent video from Walkabout with Rob on the Belmont Tramway. We're actually walking on the Belmont Tramway, but we're not here for the tramway. If you want to know about that, go and watch Rob's video. It's very good. we're going to look at the geology, because behind us here, there's a great big old hill that the tramway had to go around. I wonder why. Let's have a look together. Just take a little mental note of those little cottages over there, because you'll see when they were built. You can see them on the map. They're still there. That's actually Old Cleveland Road. The old Cleveland Road. Of course, there's some new concrete edifice in there with a bunch of units in it. Well, folks, here's the entrance to the cutting, the Carindale cutting. So normal people work on this side of the cutting, of the fence, but we're probably going to walk on this side of the fence because, you know, we're geo-nerds. We're not normal people. Have a look at the rocks. So here we are just through the cutting. This is clearly sandstone. You can see it rained last night, so the sun is glinting off it. Clearly sandstone, and quite a nice one. And below it, there's clay. Looks like argillitic clay. Got some of that same nice purple sort of manganese staining that we got over near Mount Gravatt. Don't get excited about that green stuff. That's the fertiliser they spray on the grass. As you can see, that manganese is quite purple. And the further up we get here, it's even more purple. Here we go, folks. I think that's the stuff you feed your bunkers. So this stuff is clearly a shale, mudstone I'd call it actually. You can see the stratifications in it, you can see how it's tipped. Keeping in mind, most of these sedimentary rocks all form horizontally, as in flat. This is no longer flat. It's dipping in at about 40 degrees. So, been a lot of movement here. You can see this starting to change here. This top rock up here is almost certainly a sandstone. This stuff down here is not. Very pretty colours. And you can see it's been cracked and there's been faulting. And this stuff is really pink. And that is an amazing colour for a sedimentary rock. And look at the veins. They are all this musky pink colour. And quite a lot of them here have got quartz in them. Now quartz means hydrothermal injection. Quartz has to have very hot groundwater coming up to deposit that quartz. Look at this one. That is a big reef of quartz in that shale. Now these shales around Brisbane do have quartz in them. Beautiful little reef of it there. Now, what also travels with quartz? Gold. There's no history of gold mining over here. And the old timers might never seen this because it was underground. As you can see, if I pan back here, under quite a lot of ground. And that's sandstone up there, so they probably didn't know it was here. Folks, here we have a horizon, clear horizon in the rock. Now, it could have been dragged in here by the construction of this cutting, but I don't think so, because it goes on a bit. We'll have a look further. Just one thing I'd like to point out from a macro view is the hills and the strata on this side of this cutting no way seem to respond to the hills and the strata on that side of the cutting. The saddles don't line up and whatever, so this is very hilly ground. And obviously, hill areas take on all sorts of shapes and sizes, but it's just unusual.
It is so hot out here today. It must be nearly 37, 38 degrees in this cutting. And I feel a bit strange. It's like everything's going in slow motion. Everything is slowing down. I should have drunk more water. What's going on?
Can you imagine floating weightless, like a satellite in the black sky? I dream about things way beyond this atmosphere. Like if I was an astronaut, I definitely wouldn't still be here. I dream about things way beyond this atmosphere. Can you imagine floating weightless, like a satellite in the black?
Okay, I feel much better now. I'm back on the track.
Just look at the red and pink colourings in this siltstone. I wouldn't mind betting where this outcrop, native people would have treated this country very, very specially, because they could have used that to make their ochre, their different types of paints they used. I'm very sure of it. You can see there's a horizon right there where there's a fault and it just stops and then it starts again. So that big white bit there is a place to rock there. It's just a great big piece of rock that's moved slightly. And we're back in the beautiful pink rock here, but one thing about this rock is it's dissolving. It's ending up as a beautifully coloured clay sitting in the drain down there. If I told you this was at Carindale, you would think I was lying. You'd think I was at Carnarvon Gorge or some amazing tourist destination. A lot of you watching this probably drive through this every day and don't bother looking at it. There's an ironstone vein in amongst all that beautiful pink staining. What an amazing place. And our river's back. So that was probably an island. Here's our gravels again. They don't look particularly rounded. Unfortunately, I don't. I do have a drone. That's something I haven't read the instructions on. I probably couldn't fly it illegally anyway. But you see there's a clear horizon, a clear bench where the rock types change. The reason I brought you down here.
Well, we're just at the eastern end of the cutting towards Carindale Shopping Centre here, and here's a rock wall on the other side, and it looks different because it's much older. The one we're looking at is fresh because they widened this whole cutting to put this bike track in, or the bus lane in. So yeah, that's why. Well folks, we're just heading back up the hill, and you notice I haven't shown you a geology map yet, because here it comes, because there's some tuff up here, you know, our favourite Brisbane rock. Let's have a quick look at that. So here's our geology map folks. The yellow is river gravels, the green is the Brisbane tuff, and the purple is the Narrenly Fernvale formation. You can see our cutting goes right through the Narrenly Fernvale and touches the tuff. Well, actually it doesn't, because I've had a look and there's no tuff on the surface there. So these maps are not designed, you know, as treasure maps. There'll be some tuff there somewhere. I couldn't find it. I had a good look. But anyway, just a quick word about the Narrenly Fernvale formation. It's very quick to say, oh, Narrenly Fernvale shale, because it rhymes. And shale is the major rock group, but it isn't all shale. As you've seen today, it contains sandstone, it contains ardenite, it contains quite a lot of different rock types, siltstone, mudstone. So there you go. Anyway, on with the show.
Yes, you too, I'm videoing you.
Just walking up the hill here, and there's a little outcropping here where the soil's been washed away.
So there's a pretty hard rock here, but I don't think it's tough, because you know, you can't do that. It's just tapping at some. Yeah. Anyway, let's keep looking. The police station has a letterbox. Probably a drop box where you put your brown paper bag full of used hundreds in. Just jokes, guys, just jokes. The Fitzgerald inquiry was a long time ago, okay, just jokes. Well folks, we've done the loop. Had a look at the Carindale cutting. The Carindale cutting's really cool. Much nicer, much more fun than I thought it was going to be. So anyway, something I've never done before, live to camera. Thank you to all you new subscribers. See Rob, I do listen. And 60% of you are not subscribed. So what are you waiting for? Join the party. All the cool kids are over here. And oh yeah, keep rocking. Keep rocking.